What's up guys, CJ here, and welcome back to another all-new Hybrid Network video, this time with a major update on Aquaman, and specifically some big changes being made to the origins of one of the movie's main characters, Queen Mera. Well, Mera won't exactly be queen when this film starts, but no, that's actually not the change. That's just due to the fact that Aquaman picks up while Arthur Curry's half-brother Orm is still the king of Atlantis. Instead, this has to do with a pretty big shift in Mera's backstory and her relationship to another villainous character from the Aquaman mythos, King Nereus, who in the film will actually be her father and not her potential husband. For those of you that don't know, Mera actually is not from Atlantis. Instead, she's from Jebel, and in the comics, Jebel is a penal colony, basically a place where Atlantean exiles and prisoners are sent. While it's technically still part of Atlantis, its separation from the motherland, sometimes literally in a pocket dimension in the comics, basically has let the colony split off into its own kingdom, ruled by its own king, Nereus. You may remember last April, Dolph Lundgren, that's right, Ivan Drago himself, joined Aquaman, and very quickly thereafter he was actually confirmed to be playing that role. So Dolph Lundgren is King Nereus, though earlier reports then seemed to suggest that Mera was still going to be his betrothed, despite the massive age difference between them. Thankfully, that's actually not the case, and while Aquaman Shrine was the first to report this rumor, the change in their dynamic has now been confirmed by Lundgren himself in an interview with the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Basically, I try to keep the peace down there along with Amber Heard, who plays my daughter. She's trying to convince me to join the right side. Then you have Nicole Kidman as Aquaman's mother. We're trying to avoid a war between the surface dwellers and the people of Atlantis. And in that quote, there's actually a lot to unpack here in terms of changing Nereus and Mera from the comics, as well as some changes to Jebel and how this all might relate to the larger plot of Aquaman. First and foremost, this does confirm that yes, Mera is Nereus' daughter rather than his prospective wife, and in the comics, Mera was sent undercover to assassinate Aquaman, only to fall in love with him and eventually marry him. But it's unclear whether or not that's still going to be how or why Mera comes to Atlantis, and the rest of the quote kind of seems to hint that Nereus and Jebel may not be quite as hungry for revenge as they are in the comics. Specifically, what Lundgren says about keeping the peace and joining the right side, trying to avoid war between humanity and the Atlanteans, it all kind of reminds me a little bit of Black Panther, if I'm being honest. Specifically, if I had to guess, I'd say that Nereus and the Jebel are going to be more or less like M'Baku and the Jabari from that film. I mean, instead of being a separate tribe, they could be a group of exiles and outcasts that end up taking sides with Aquaman to stop Orm and Black Manta. Either way, this is a really interesting change, considering what Mera mentions in her scene with Aquaman in Justice League, as she says that Queen Atlanna took her in when her parents, and I quote, went off to fight in the wars. I'm not sure exactly how that squares with her being the daughter of King Nereus. I mean, there's not a ton of people they could have been fighting in those wars other than Jebel, so that could have been a lie, either one that she has been telling or that she herself was told to hide her true parentage. Speaking of Queen Atlanna, Lundgren also mentions Nicole Kidman by name, who's set to play Queen Atlanna in the film. I mean, it's interesting that he does mention her because Mera in that Justice League scene speaks of her in the past tense, making it seem like she's already dead. But there's also the possibility she was just exiled. I mean, in the comics and some tellings of Aquaman's origin, she was actually exiled as part of that, so it's possible that was the case in the DCEU too, and she'll return at some point in the movie. Either way, this means likely we'll be seeing Kidman in a flashback, and one that'll somehow involve King Nereus as well. Let me know what you make of all of this new info in the comments section down below, but that's going to do it for me here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw, subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider turning on your notifications to be alerted every time we upload a new video. For even more content, check out our website at hybridnetworkyt.com, and if you love HN and want to take your support to the next level, consider donating to us on Patreon as we strive to bring you the best content possible. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time.